I would really, really appreciate to get to know you as well. Where do you come from? Which countries you come from? What's the geography of our lesson today? Please, you're welcome to leave your comments in the chat, and I can see the chat on another computer, so I will sneak peek at it every now and again. So everything should be ready now. Let me play my slides. Please let me know in the chat if you can see me and hear me well. Hello from Tallinn, not far away from us. So let me know if you can see and hear me well. Everything works fine, and we will begin in a minute. My dear colleagues, you are also in the chat. I really hope that you will support me and answer some questions today. And of course, just let me know everything works. Well, since you are replying, I suppose you can hear me. Vilnius, cool. Tallinn, Latvia. Nice to meet you all. And I'm Julia Jolkin from Estonia, from Tallinn. I'll let you know a little bit more about myself a bit later. But first of all, let me understand what's your level. How hardcore should I go about automation? So let me know in the chat if you're a fresh recruiter, if you are a wannabe recruiter, or maybe you are working as a recruiter and been working for many years. You can mention how many years. Or if you're ahead of recruitment and now you're looking for cool new ideas how to actually raise the productivity of your team. So let me know who you are. HRs who want to learn recruitment sourcing as well, maybe let me know who you are so I will understand how hardcore I can be in my lesson today. 6 years, wow, cool. You're still learning. Very good. It's really impressive, actually, when I hear that, senior people, they keep still learning, they keep learning on a daily basis, and that's the right attitude. We get a lot of new technologies, we get a lot of new methods nowadays. So we keep improving our work. Right. Okay, some of you are only starting and middle. Well, lawyer, education in HR, well, you want to become a recruiter. By the way, anyone can become a recruiter. It's a new profession. Anyone can become a recruiter. And believe me, we've trained recruiters. We've had a stewardess, English teacher. We've had office managers, store managers becoming recruiters and getting jobs right after our courses. So feel totally confident that you can become a recruiter. This is a young profession. You just have to be really, really good at learning to become a recruiter. Right. I can see that a lot of experienced people. Awesome. Let's begin. And here's the plan for the lesson. I will try to make it short, but I love my job, so I can talk about it for hours. Don't let me go over the limit. Let me know when it's time to wrap up. But of course, you can ask anything in the chat. I will stop at some point. I'll look at the chat. And of course, my dear colleagues from IT Talent will also help me out answering your questions. And I got a little gift for you. Actually, it's not a little. I have 2 gifts for you at the end. So if you stay with us till the end, you will get your gift. And for God's sake, please laugh at my jokes. I know it's been hard for all of us in recruitment. I totally know. Well, give me a thumb up if in the chat if you feel the same way. So let's take it as a group therapy, okay? So you are allowed to joke, laugh at my jokes, or even cry yourself, out of my jokes, because well, laughter is the best cure when you are super overworked and feel a little stressed. So thank you for joining me, and of course, I really, really hope to give you a lot of value today. So a lot of, good ideas and some tools that you can use, apply in your work straight away. So please leave your phones aside. Don't answer work emails. Concentrate, because I will blow your mind with this automation topic today. Honestly, your life will never be the same after this lesson if you haven't tried robots before. So Grab a notepad and a pen. You can actually even do make screenshots. That's what I do when I'm actually learning. I make screenshots to come back to later. You are welcome to do that. And mind that this lesson will be recorded. So you will get the recording, so no rush. You will get all the links and everything as well. Let's begin. Let's begin. And you should learn these things during today's lesson: how to stop burning out and how to start delegating, how to double up your efficiency or even triple up or even make it 10 times more, how to raise your productivity. And if you are experienced recruiter, if you are a team lead of a recruitment team, you can also think about how to raise the productivity of your team as well. And you'll learn how to hire much faster, and of course how to save money, how to reduce cost per hire. Well, time is money, right? So the faster you do it and the more on the budget you do it, using less time of your team, the better. So how to spend less time and hire more basically is the topic we will cover today. And how to switch your approach from reactive to proactive will cover as well. And of course, I will tell you all about our advanced course, which will kick off soon. So stay tuned. Let's get it back to the subject of burning out and being tired. I know, it's the end of the year. We're all a little tired. But how are you guys? How are you? Do you have a lot of work to do? Would you like to have an assistant? Everybody's cutting costs right now. Yeah, we don't really have the budget to have an assistant, but imagine, let's dream a little bit. If you had an assistant, what would you delegate to your assistant? Can you write down in the chat? What is it that you like repetitively do all the time, again and again and again, and you'd like to get rid of this and you'd like to delegate it to your assistant? Let me read the comments. Well, you're lucky if you have colleagues, but sometimes, you have to motivate them to do the stuff that you don't want to do. But if you have a system, you have all the rights to just delegate your work to them. So reports, sourcing, good, sourcing. Come on, give me some more answers. Imagine you have an assistant, daydream a little bit. Well, I'd like someone to bring me coffee, of course, but well, what I do a lot, what I used to do a lot is like copy paste, write letters, source, write, get back to people and like follow up and everything. First, phone interviews, writing scripts, scheduling meetings. Good ones. Okay. Well, keep writing, let it out of yourself. And I will actually tell you some scientific facts. Well, of course, I'm joking about science, but we ran a survey among recruiters just recently because we had some ideas what recruiters would like to delegate, and we asked them. So a lot of people actually confirmed that they'd like to delegate sourcing and operational tasks, just like you mentioned, coordinating interviews, emailing feedback, and so on. So they would really, really love to have an assistant and delegate. And guess what? I have an assistant on a budget, because I can't afford myself to hire someone who would bring me coffee, but I can still have an assistant. And meet my assistant, Robert the Rob. He does have some friends. I will introduce you to his friends today. So he is quite devoted and he doesn't cost much. I love him. I don't have to motivate him to do something instead of me, Right. So you will get a present at the end of the presentation. I will introduce Rob's friends to you, I promise. So you can get a present, a real assistant for a while. You can test the real assistant. And well, Rob reminded me that I have actually not introduced myself. So some of you who are not from Estonia probably don't know me yet. Well, thank you for coming anyway. And I'm actually the founder of IT Talent Recruitment Agency in Estonia. We've been around for 8 years. And I'm still hands-on sourcing and recruiting myself, actually. I fill a couple of roles a month, despite that I'm managing the team and I'm actually teaching recruiters on a daily basis. But what else should you know about me? I love speaking at conferences. So I've spoken at different conferences. If I'm at Speaker also conference, Sourcing Summit of Europe twice. So this picture is from 2019. And in this year, I spoke at SOSO and at Global HR Recruitment Forum about automating a recruitment's job and building candidate pools rapidly on daily basis. So that's what I do. And let me brag a little bit more about myself. Also, IT Talent's been really nominated to be one of the best IT recruitment agencies in Estonia. And we were the second in 2019. And this year, I received an award of the best recruiter of the year in Estonia. And that was not only because I offer great candidate experience and fill very many vacancies, but it was basically because of I contributed to raising and teaching new recruiters and influencing the market. So that's who I am. Thank you very much. Now, do I look like the recruiter of the year to you? Do I look like the recruiter of the year who fills a lot of vacancies, who is teaching, who is sourcing, who is doing consulting business a lot? Well, now I look like a real recruiter, don't I? Well, this is actually my real picture from my vacation in 2019. That was a really tough year because I had lots of interviews, lots of meetings. A lot of people wanted to talk to me. Everybody came to me with their problems. Candidates wanted to get consultancy on their career. Companies wanted to know how to hire. I was working like with 10 vacancies at the same time. How many vacancies do you work with? I kind of know that you might feel my pain, right? So it was like really, really, really tough. So I arrived to my long-awaited vacation to Asia and I just fell down and I didn't enjoy it. I was so worked and burnt out. By the end of the year, I wasn't really enjoying anything. The beach, the sun, the fruit, nothing. I totally was worn out. Oh, talking about it makes me feel it again. But once I rolled over to my back, I realized that there is something wrong with my life. I have to do something. I am not able to work with 10 vacancies at the same time and still offer good candidate experience, still be a good colleague, and still actually start teaching, because I was dreaming about starting teaching back then. So something had to be changed. And as I took some time off then, I started thinking, I rolled to my back, looked at the sky, and I started daydreaming, I wish it was easier. So I spent the rest of my vacation actually reading a lot of articles about how to improve productivity, how to spend less time and do more. And I was really thinking about how to double the efficiency of me as a recruiter and my team, and how to hire faster, because everybody was like really crazy, everybody wanted us to hire for them. And we were like even saying stop to new clients. We were saying, no, we can't take you. We are losing focus, too much work. And of course, I had to learn how to stop burning out in delegating. So I was daydreaming and I took some action. I learned a lot about automation and I found some good tools and I started testing those tools. So that was back at the end of 2019. Believe me, I tried a lot of tools. I made a lot of mistakes. It took me 1 year to actually start implementing it full power and get good results from it. But in 2021, my vacation looked like this. Come on, you gotta try this pose when you are on vacation on the beach next time. Try to take a hat and take a picture like this. Send that to me as well. So that is my real picture in Maldives in February 2021. That's when I actually got really good results using automation, and I could really, breathe out and concentrate on strategic things, on giving kind of great candidate experience, on contributing to building courses for recruiters. And I started studying. Something I really, really liked. I love this picture. I do pictures like this now, and every time I have a vacation, it looks like I'm naked, but I'm not. You got to try this. Okay, so let's daydream a little bit. Let's dream a little bit. Just thank you for all your comments in the chat. I will read them all. So let's daydream a little bit. I love dreaming, and back then I was really dreaming about it, and I started thinking like, how can I get there? So I was dreaming that I could fill a vacancy with just one post. And so I was thinking like, how the hell can I do that? In fact, actually, I filled the vacancy a week ago. It took me 19 days from taking the job order and candidate accepted the offer. So 19 days to post the vacancy, to get through all the process. He did the homework and everything, had a technical interview, accepted the job offer, and he will start next week. So 19 days, one post, 5 candidates, and that's it. But how can you do that? You gotta be really good at building your network, because your network is your network. You have to have a lot of goldfish, right, to catch. So it's better to fish in the sea, that in the pool, than in the ocean. Believe me, if you have a pool of candidates, if you have a good network, you can post. Of course, you have to be good at writing posts, or you can send a message to some of your candidates in the pool, and that's it. You fill the vacancy. But how can you do that? By the way, as I'm teaching recruiters, I get a lot of feedback from the market, how they go to interviews and what kind of questions they are asked. And what I've heard from them, that now if you are applying for a technical recruiter role, you are asked what's your network in LinkedIn. And of course, as someone experienced, you should have at least 5,000. So what's your number? What's your number? Go check your number in LinkedIn and see how far you are from senior. Well, I have another problem. I have about 30, and that's the maximum. So I'll need to clean up or switch to actually being able to be followed instead of being, connected. So what's your network? What is your number? Can you fill one vacancy with one post? A lot of recruiters that actually are studying with us are way below 5,000. And that's a pity, because your network is your network. All right, I can see some numbers here. Good. So pencil down this number for yourself and set a goal for yourself to grow your network, because this is your really good asset as a recruiter, as in any specialist actually. So, and the next thing I was dreaming about, thought, when clients come to me, they really immediately want candidates, and I work for an agency, right? So they want me to go like this and give them candidate like in a week. In a week, they want some candidates. And I thought, I wish I could have at least 500 candidates in my database for each technology, because we are IT recruiters, right? So 500 Java, 500 PHP, 500, I don't know, front end, whatsoever. So I can just always go there and catch my golden fish, right? So I wish I could have candidates, but how can I do that? And it's really cool to have ATS, and it's really cool to have database. But what if you have all this network in LinkedIn and you really want to, use it as your database? Because that's the easiest to keep someone in ATS. You need to be GDPR compliant, right? You need their consent to keep them in your database. In LinkedIn, it's all available publicly. So you can have a database in LinkedIn, right? So every time you talk to someone, you can put them in the right group, whether they are front end, back end, I don't know, DevOps, QA, whatever. So you can always go to that box and get your 500 candidates out, send a message to them, and introduce the ones who are interested to your client. So, and this is the thinking of an agency recruiter. I understand, because we need to be fast. That's why we're paid so much, right? Because we already have some warm candidates in our pools when our clients come here. But you guys work in-house. You got to start thinking like agencies. Isn't that a good idea? So instead of being reactive and start searching when you get a vacancy opened up, you can proactively fill your pool, so you always have 500 each when you actually start hiring. So you can deliver your first candidates much faster. So you get the job offer order, you give the warm candidates from your pool, and then you start sourcing and find even more candidates. Do you wish you could do that? Well, good. Right, you're still stuck with the numbers of LinkedIn, right? Well, listen carefully, and we are talking about some serious stuff next. So I'm talking about candidate pools. So exactly, now you know how my candidate pools look like, right? And you can have candidate pools in LinkedIn when people don't give you specifically GDPR consent that you can keep their profiles in your pools. And you can change your approach from reactive to proactive, and that will allow you to be like an agency in-house. And that will allow you to hire faster. Every time you have a job order or position fills, you go to your pool, right? Right, I can imagine like senior recruiters might be skeptical about it. So Julia, what the hell about proactive? We hardly have any time to, have coffee and go to the toilet because we have meetings, interviews, then we have to get back to the candidates. It's like, it's never stopping, it's all over again and again and again. And you don't really have time to sit down and think about something and be proactive. You don't even have time to clean your own desktop, right? Or close all the 1,000 tabs. Where can we get extra time? I feel your pain, honestly. It's only 24 hours. Yeah, and we do still want to have some personal life, and we have kids, we have schools, whatever, a lot of different responsibilities. So how can we do that if we don't have extra time? Well, we all wish to have an assistant, right? But go ask your boss to hire a sourcer for yourself. What kind of answer do you have a chance to get? Everybody's calculating money right now. So you need an assistant on a budget, don't you? And that's the point. So I started exploring automation back in 2019, and I started using some assistants on a budget, and I will introduce them to you back in 2019. But you know what? I really liked it, so I took more assistants. Since I could go on trials for everywhere, so I was really playing with different robots, different automation tools, and I was really picking my favorite. And felt like this, that I had a lot of help from everywhere. But of course, this is not always not a really good idea to use so many robots at the same time. And of course, we'll talk about it a bit later. But I can feel that you like, ooh, using robots. It's not humane, but let me ask you, just like in this picture. Do you think that leaving candidates without feedback is humane? Do you really think that giving them no feedback after homework is humane? Or keeping them waiting for weeks, do you think this is humane? So if you ever choose between growing your audience, manually, or trusting it to robots, or actually giving time to your candidates to offer good candidate service. So what would you choose? And don't you wish you had more time for strategic tasks? Don't you wish you had time to catch your breath and learn something new? So aren't you actually turning into a robot yourself? Aren't you actually becoming a robot yourself? Ask yourself, is this humane? So there is nothing wrong with using automation, because you get the time for offering better quality time to your candidates and yourself, because you do need better quality time. Some of you might have started crying. No, of course not. But seriously, we are all turning into robots ourselves because we have too much to do and too many vacancies to fill, little budget for assistance. So this is a self-aid lesson, I'm telling you how you can help yourself. So meet the first robot, meet the first tool. And before I go and tell you all about it, let me quickly check if you're crying or laughing in the chat. Better time planning, sweetheart, you might be a junior. You have to have time to start planning it. Agree on better time planning. Yes, absolutely better time planning, but well, go try to plan your time when you have more than 5 vacancies on your table and a lot of meetings with management and small kids and. So, right. Are you with me? Are you crying or laughing at my jokes? I hope that you are laughing. Anyways, I want to go to the serious subject and now introduce you some tools that you could actually experiment with. And this is the first one. It's called My Robot Works. So I've been using it for over 2 years. And this is how it works in my team. This is the pools that I have in LinkedIn. So all the connections I ever meet, I put them in the right place. And let me demonstrate you. For example, I'm hiring Elixir developers all the time. And of course, I'm building Elixir developers pool. So here are all Elixir developers I've ever come across, I've ever talked to. Let me play. Sorry, I will probably need to stop sharing to make it play. And let me show you how it works. Okay, I'll have a small screen so you can see. I will start sharing again. And let me show. So this is my Robot Works pools for different roles. These are all people we have come across with in our team. So My Robot Works allows you to save or to manage all your connections, all your contacts. So here is my Elixir developers pool, and these are all the LinkedIn connections I have or my team has, and they have different statuses. Some of them are contacted, some of them have been in our database, and so on. Some of them replied they're not interested. So every time we have an Elixir opening, we can come here and send them a message that, hey, we can personalize it, of course. There are placeholders for title, company name, and we can send them a message. And every time we talk to someone in LinkedIn, we can actually turn on the Chrome extension connection and put them in the pool. So you see, there is my Chrome extension, and I can always add the profile to the pool with some comments for my colleagues, because we use this tool as a team. So I have these comments for my colleagues. So if they ever come across this guy, they know how that he is remote only. And this robot is imitating my behavior in LinkedIn. It's sending messages to the candidates. It's request messages, or it's some message, follow-up messages. And nurturing your pools is also a good idea. So you can always nurture your pool, send a message like, here, are you going to this conference? Do you know about this conference? Or have you watched this movie about Elixir programming? That might be interesting for you. So once again, I can come to my pool when I have an opening, and I can reach out to all of these candidates by actually putting their name in as a placeholder. And I could say, robot, send a message to all of these 800 guys from this status, and change the status to contacted. So robot will act like me on the screen, just pretend that it's visiting profiles and sending messages. So that is how it works. And allow me to go back to a full screen now and move to another slide and explain to you how this workflow works. So with this tool, I can create a pool of specific technology. In this case, it was Elixir developers. I create statuses like remote only, interested, not interested, sourced, interviewed, in ATS, and so whatsoever. And then I run a search within my first LinkedIn connections, and I can say, okay, Chrome extension, please send a message to these guys and add them to the pool. And then I can go and run a search within second and third connections, and I can send connection requests with the text to them, right? You got to be good at writing this text, though, of course, to make it the most personalized, and not just like, let's connect, that's it. But you have to be really good at building a warm rapport with your candidate. Sorry. And so I built this workflow. When they start replying to me, I add the statuses and I add them to the pool. That's it. And of course, I can always go to this pool and send a message to all of them. Of course, we can always export them from the pool as a CSV file, work with this file, or do something else with this list. So that's it. That's one story. So this is how you can actually delegate your work to robots for connecting, and for like connecting with a message or with sending messages. And let me, I'm a little stuck with changing the slides. Let me quickly fix it. What do we have here? So yes, we've created a pool, and now there is another video that I should share with you, just to show you quickly how it works. Basically, you can always open someone as they reply to you, and go and put them, with the help of Chrome extension, you can put them into the pool as well. So every time you talk to someone, you still leave comments and put them in the pool, and you top up your pool. So this is called proactive works. And you see how many pools I have. I have lots of pools. So every time I come across someone, I leave it for later with some comments. So it really works well. This is called proactive approach. So my results, I told you about them, and let's move on. So how can we do it faster? So when I started using this robot, I thought like, oh my God, I didn't know about it before. How can I do it even faster? How can I do it on autopilot? Because with this robot I just showed you, it can work when your computer is on, right? So you have to keep your computer on. But how can we do it so that it doesn't have to be on? How can we just go and, I don't know, go to a meeting and your robot is working on autopilot? How can we go and study and your robot is working on autopilot? So I was looking for a chance to have a tool which goes on autopilot when the computer is off. And I found another assistant, and I love this tool. This is really helping me to source, extract results of the search, export them into the file, enrich these results, clean these results, and then send a message or a connection request to them. And here is one more autopilot workflow that I could do with this robot. And this is, in fact, something I have done to invite you to this webinar. If you have received a message from me on LinkedIn, that wasn't me, that was Rob. Okay, so what I did, I created a pool called LinkedIn HRs and recruiters, and that was done in an Excel file. But Fundmaster helped me to extract leads from LinkedIn search. So I searched for recruiters. I found some events. I scraped events for recruiters. So I took some recruiters from the events and I scraped some groups. So I created a big file where I put all of this scraped results. And then this autopilot thing helped me to send the connection request to everyone. And if I was actually connected, it was sending the message like, I'm inviting you to my webinar. And of course, it's also checking if its connection is accepted. It gives you all the statistics. You can see all your numbers. And as a next step, you can build in a sequence of several messages, connection request. If accepted in a day, send another message, and in a couple of days, send another message. So you build a sequence, and the robot is sending the messages on your behalf when your computer is turned off. Right? So I want to show you again the same thing, but with another tool, and this is totally something on autopilot. And this is how it works. So I create a workflow from templates, and this is 5 robots chained all together. So one robot is doing the scraping, another robot is sending connection requests, and another robot is sending a follow-up message, and another robot is scraping inbox and showing me the results of the replies. So you chain these robots together and quickly build all these phantoms. And when you become good at that, it only takes 20 minutes, honestly. So it's working on your behalf on LinkedIn. So you place this link to the Google Sheet. Here you place the text, and I'm using another automation tool for that, of course. So this is something for SOSU. So I was sending to my recruiter pool that you can buy the SOSU ticket cheaper. Here is the code for you. So I was actually giving something to them, something cool. Before I went to speak at the conference, I built a huge pool of recruiters and invited them all to the conference. So you can even discover the email, but that's not what I needed. I just sent a message to everyone. And this robot is not sending message to 100 people at the same time. No, it has to imitate the human behavior. It has to be like you. So it breaks these messages in really small portions. And here you can see my results. I extracted 893 profiles, invited 627. And of course, it's interesting to follow your acceptance rate so you can see how many percentages your invitations are accepted and what's the answer. So this was just like in the middle. So that campaign lasted for a longer time, but still I could follow my results. And you see that was done. This video was done at the end of April before the conference because I was speaking about it at the conference. So this is it. This is how you build this workflow. And you can get a present from us at the end of this lesson. A devoted assistant, you can meet Rob's friend, and you can get an extended trial version, which will help you to get a feel and experiment to feel the full power of these tools. So stay tuned and you will get your link to the extended trial. But now I will quickly check the comments here. This programming for free, advanced team plan. Okay, right. So everything is working good. Otherwise, let me know if you can't hear me. And let's continue. Let's continue. And next, of course, that would be fantastic if that would be ideal and if that would be all for free. But hey, come on. This is a huge investment. You can save hell of a lot of time and hell of a lot of money with these robots. They can't be completely for free. So I can explain how to actually use the maximum of it and use it at the minimum cost to you, of course. But what I would really like to point out here, I should not really like tell you fancy stories in fairy tales that you get a robot for free and that also works fine and you don't make any mistakes. Believe me, robots are great, but they are not ideal. Robots are not human. You have to think with your brain when you're using them. You have to be super, super careful. And I made all possible mistakes with robots, believe me, but in a couple of years, you better learn from my mistakes. That's going to be cheaper than actually making your own. You have to be super careful, otherwise you get banned by LinkedIn. That's the worst thing which could happen to a recruiter, or otherwise you can like really fuck up on your market and like really that cost of mistake would be high. So they are not ideal. You have to be careful. You know how to use them. You have to use them with your brain. And of course, I'm happy to tell you about how to use them. But I've had a lot of mistakes, and I want to tell you about my biggest fuck up with robots. And no kidding, this is not funny for me, but you will laugh your head out. But before I do that, let me once again confirm that the workflow I showed you, the chaining robots, you can build it within 20-30 minutes if you learn how to do it, right? If you know how to do it with the maximum so you don't get banned, so it works fantastically, you get the best results, and you don't send messages to the false positive results of your search. So you have to be careful, right? You have to be quite good at setting up these workflows. And I'll tell you all about how to do it in advanced course. And of course, this is the best kept secrets of top recruiters, that they use this kind of automation. How the hell else are they able to fill so many vacancies so fast? And we have created the course in 2021, yeah. So it was like really like a bomb, you know. It was like wow on the market, and it was really, really long waited by our alumni from our other courses. So we actually present this course as a prize to the winners of our courses, and they're really, really eager to get this prize. And now we are going to run this course again. It's going to take 4 weeks. It's going to be online, so anyone from any country can join. And half of the places in this course are already taken by our alumni, because we have 2 other courses, recruitment sourcing and technical competence. And we always have a competition in the courses, so the best student gets a free course. So all the students this year were looking forward since June to join this course. So we're finally doing it. I'm sorry if you're here, you've been waiting for half a year. There you go, we are ready to begin. And who is this course for? How advanced should you be? Well, basically, It's for recruiters, HR specialists who want to source, who want to automate the work, who want to recruit. It's for managers and HRs because if they're clever, they must be really raising the productivity of their teams all the time and thinking about how to improve processes, right? And of course, anyone from IT recruitment, because your hiring managers, your CTOs might be using these robots and just, connecting with programmers and inviting them to join their team. So imagine if you learn it as a recruiter, but you build this workflow on top of your CTO's LinkedIn profile, that would be a total blast. And I was just thinking, this course might be such a blast for salespeople as well. So like some business people, some salespeople who are offering services, if they learn reaching out, prospecting in LinkedIn with robots, they can sell their services much faster. So, and once again, it doesn't require super experience. We've had our students who are like fresh recruiters, who are zero recruiters. We had them join this course after our first and second course, and they were fine. In fact, when they were applying for their first jobs in recruitment, they were like really impressing the interviewers with their skills to automate their recruitment work and sourcing. By the way, about sourcing, you of course have to learn sourcing before you attach robots to your search string, right? Otherwise, you'll send your messages to the false results. But this time, this will be the last time when we have a sourcing part in the training. So you have a chance to kill two birds with one shot. We decided that we are going to change this course next year because we will have a sourcing course, a separate sourcing course. But now this course consists of two sourcing modules as well. So this is a chance for you to polish your sourcing skills and learn automation. So this is actually two courses in one. Right. So our students admitted that this, among all our three courses, we have a lot of students who completed three course learning path. They admitted that this was the game-changing course for them, and that actually took them way further than their colleagues on the market. And you see our students work in these companies. Of course, not everyone will tell you that, yes, I'm using robots, but you can guess, you can guess who's using robots. And of course, this is the best kept secret of top recruiters. If they use automation, and you don't really realize that it's automation sometimes, and you really can do much more within 24 hours, believe me. So catch it before it becomes the mainstream, because look, in the same survey that we were like asking people if they use automation, 72% said they would love to try bots, but they haven't done it before. So believe me, it's just like sourcing at some point. Everybody was talking about it and everybody wanted to learn it. And now it's like a really a priori skill of a recruiter. So once again, automation is becoming a mainstream. At least it has been mainstream in Europe. At SOSU conference, they spoke about automation back in 2019 already. That's when I learned all these tools. I was watching SOSU webinars, not the webinars, but the conference, because SOSU is one of the biggest sourcing and recruitment conference in Europe, and you always get the fresh news and the best new tools and approaches when you go to the conference or you watch the videos from the conference. So that's it. Catch it before it becomes a mainstream. Be advanced. And as I mentioned to you, it's okay for the beginners. And Mariam actually took our courses this spring, and she got a job at Wise as a sourcer. That is her first job in recruitment. And she really got the job because she impressed her interviewers with all this sourcing automation skills of building the workflow and actually using bots. So yeah, you can do it if you're just a beginner, and if you're a senior, hello, you have to catch up. And who will be the teachers of the course? It will be me. I've been using automation for over 2 years. I've done a lot of mistakes and learned from them. And as you see, I've been in recruitment for 17 plus years. And don't ask me how old I am, right? So by the end of the training, you will become advanced recruiter. I'm sorry if you have 2,000 connections in LinkedIn and your sourcing skills are not up to date. I might not have a good news for you. You can't really call yourself advanced recruiter, but you will become advanced recruiter with these 2 weeks because you will have advanced sourcing skills, the fresh, all the life hacks of sourcing LinkedIn and outside of LinkedIn, and you will learn automation as well. And believe me, you will make it to fill one vacancy with one post only when you grow your network. And of course, the biggest win of all, you will work 10 times more effectively, spend less time on sourcing and sending copy paste messages, and you will get much more candidates in your funnel, better candidates, because it will be you who will be choosing whom to approach with your message. And of course, you will save more than 1,000 hours of your work and spend it rather on communication with your candidates, on giving better candidate experience and improving your candidate experience. That's something we are really, really all, eager to improve. Yeah. So you will be hiring much faster and fill more vacancies with less effort. But that's the point. So, and I think, one thing that our students also confirmed after this course is the confidence. They have built their confidence big time with this course. They can feel that, yes, they're advanced, they are ahead of the market now, ahead of market in Estonia, but like in Europe and America, this is a mainstream already. You will be productive at the pro level. And here are some feedback phrases from our survey after the course. The course actually teaches how to save time for something more important in life. So what's more important in life for you than your work? I'm a mother of twins, I know how to be super productive. And of course, I really, really owe time to my kids. And I would really love to give more time to my kids and spend less time at work. And a side effect, as they say, is also about building a network and your brand with the help of growing your audience, growing your network. So you will actually build your own presence on the market and your brand with actually being more visible on the market. And of course, we have a state standard certification. So in Estonia, at least, we are very well known for training recruiters. And this is a really becoming like a quality mark, on the market. So we're giving certifications. And the best part of this as well, that we always apply gamification to our courses. And this time we have a Grand Prix of Virtual Path to Sourcing Summit of Europe. So if you ever want to catch up on sourcing techniques, recruitment, news updates, you have to watch SOSU at least once a year. So you have a chance to win the virtual pass and watch all these videos when you feel like it. For that, you have to do your homeworks in time and, do your best when you're studying. And here is, by the way, our twice winner. So Maris from LHV Bank. She actually came to study with us when she became a recruiter in LHV. That was in January 2022. She was a recruiter. So she took one course and she won it. And she took another course, which was technical competence, and she won it. So she took the third course. So within 6 months, she took all the 3 courses. And now she is after all these courses, with this 6 months, she got promoted to IT HR partner in LHV. So we are very, very proud of her. And Mari said that she's never had so many candidates standing in the line after implementing automation, and her CTO was really, really impressed. And of course, you will have homeworks, because we really need to practice. We're not only giving you knowledge, you will build your workflows and we will hold your hands. And as a result, our students say that homework, review, and feedback are the best part for them, because they can always get feedback and fix, it right there, what they are doing wrong. It's not only about sourcing correctly. It's not only about setting up all the tools, but it's also about pitch messages and how to approach candidates, how to make sure that they reply. There you go. So this is a big value from our course. Concepts are great, but not ideal. And you have to be super careful with them. And like, what kind of problems do we have, right? Learn from my mistakes. It's always cheaper to learn from other mistakes. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Why don't we use them? Like, a lot of recruiters know about them, but somehow they are really, really not implementing on their daily work. First of all, a lot of people have lack of confidence, because we are all really, really, afraid of making a mistake, right? Push the wrong button, send a message to the wrong candidate. Well, raise your hand if you've sent a message to the candidate with the wrong name. But that happens to everyone. So people don't have enough confidence to implement robots. So you need to have senior colleagues hold your hand to do that. And of course, we all have LinkedIn limitations. Some of us have a little bit more space, some less space, right? So limitations and, well, typos and attention to details is always a problem for recruiters, right? And of course, procrastination. Do you know what procrastination means? Go Google it. It's a very interesting word, and this is your biggest enemy. Procrastinating something means leaving something for later, always pushing it for later and never coming back. So I will lose 5 kilos. From Monday, I will go on diet. Never do. I'll read that article later. Never do. I'll take that course later. Never do, right? So we keep procrastinating. So we think that, okay, I will at some point implement automation at my work, but no deadline, no hurry. So we never do, right? And you know what? Let's take a look at these mistakes. And honestly, first, problem everybody has, and they think like, what kind of robots, really? You have a limit of 100 connection requests per week from LinkedIn. But honestly, do you really use it 100%? I don't think so, because we always keep being busy with something else, right? We are really busy with meetings or emails or something, so we don't use 100%. So we miss out on growing our network. And of course, a lot of us have seen this message. Well, if you haven't seen this message, you haven't worked enough, you haven't sourced enough. So you have to be super careful not to get banned by LinkedIn. Of course, LinkedIn will probably spot some unusual activity if you don't do it correctly. I've seen it 100 times at the beginning. The last time I saw it, it was totally my fault, and it was a really big fuck up from my side, because in August, I really wanted to invite everybody to my event, to my webinar. And thank you. I'm losing my voice now, but I'm really so excited about this topic. And I'm really so excited about recruitment. I love my job. I've been in this job for more than 17 years. And you know what? I keep learning myself all the time. I always keep my nose up to the air. What's cooking? What are the other automation tools? Because really, sometimes, people say, we don't need it. Why do you need sourcing? Why do you need all these automation tools? Honestly, you don't you don't clean your floors at home with a broom. You probably use a vacuum cleaner, and some of you even have a robot vacuum cleaner. So why actually not using these amazing tools? And a lot of them are free tools as well, right? If you can do that, why not learning that? So I'm quite excited about my work, and I'm really excited about sharing my knowledge. And if I have some of my students watching, you can definitely confirm that I'm really supporting and inspiring during the course. So thank you. You've been amazing and you've been super patient. And here is our Instagram. Why do you need that? Because I promised to introduce you to Rob's friends, remember? So join our Instagram and send us a message with a secret word. I'll give you a moment to screen this code and find us in Instagram and prepare to send a direct message, because we will share your presence, two presents, in the direct message as a reply to you, and introduce you to a couple of Rob's friends, and you can use them as Asia's assistants next month or this month already, and try what it is like to have an assistant and have more time. So 1 second to, and I'll show you the secret word. So your gift is waiting for you, two robots are saying hello to you, saying that we are ready to be your assistants. And here is the secret word. Send it to us in Instagram, and we will share links to extended trials of the robots that you can really feel the full power of them for free, test them for free, experiment them with them for free. So send the message right away and sign up for the course right away. We'll hold your hand while you're implementing automation. Right, what else? What else there? Thank you for watching. And now I will go to your comments and ask me anything at all. I have a few more minutes. You see, I'm sharp with the time. I know how it is to save time, right? I'm a mother of twins, you know. So thank you. It was useful. I am very happy that you've learned something today. And of course, these trials are for free. That's why I'm sharing a special code for you, because you can test them for free and feel the full power extended trials, right? Because these tools, they know that we're teaching recruiters, they give us a special link for extended trials. And of course, if you ask me what kind of LinkedIn account to choose, we choose to not pay too much to LinkedIn. We choose to invest in good automation tools. Well, thank you very much. Give me a thumb up if you liked it. So feed me back, you know, feedback consists of two parts, feed plus back. So feed me back for sharing. Thank you. And I'm happy to share my knowledge. We have been teaching for since 2020. We've now taught more than 170 recruiters. Can you imagine? So yeah, Ari, thank you, everyone. So now summarize, send us a direct message with Rob, the code, and go enjoy your life and enjoy your private life. You really have to devote some time for yourself. Don't burn out. And remember, it's your job to see what's your, feeling. Are you tired? Do you need some time off? Are you burning out? Delegate your work, concentrate on yourself, concentrate on the tasks that you love doing, because we all need tasks that energize us. And actually teaching is something I love, that energizes me. And I'm still recruiting, I'm still hands-on recruiting, and I still have a lot of work to do. but somehow I find time for my students, and now you know how I managed to do that. Well, thank you for watching, and feed me back in direct messages in LinkedIn. Please find me in LinkedIn and connect with me, and say hello to me if you find this lesson interesting and useful. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.